27 today. You're getting that, to be fair.
It's true.
We
It's
all
about
are.
as old as I'm going to get.
Yeah.
I think it's look, I mean, this team does have a lot of heart, and to think that they are on the cusp of elimination, to think that they're playing G2, formerly the Titan roster, who has players who have not only won a major as recently as you know, last year, I guess it's been more than that. It's DreamHack Winter 2014 with LDLC when Shocks and Smiths were part of the winning team for that major. It's Existence again, who you kind of look at. It's him that has to get out of the group. I mean, this is a big storyline, no matter which way this goes, with the caliber and experience of these two teams.
Well, here we go then. It's going to be Cobble to finish things off here. The winner will be going through the quarterfinals tomorrow at the Nationwide Arena. It's a fast play from GP going into that drop-down area. Going to be exchanging frags all over the place, but finding three themselves. Now a 4-on-2. Scream and Smiths with a full retake to do here. Scream can't find a single frag. And now Smiths with an impossible situation. The Island will be planting the bomb momentarily. A very quick round there, Matt, to kick us off. I'm not sure Smiths has many options here. I would say saving the body armor is probably going to be the best option here.
Yeah, and that's looking to be what he wants to do. So Virtus.Pro will strike first. They will take first blood. Remember, Cobblestone, fairly balanced map in many ways. In fact, it's commonly T-side oriented, depending on it's team to team. Obviously, some teams are more strategic than others, more T-sided than others. But it's definitely a map where it can be, I would say, sort of 9-6, 8-7 is common, so it's not like there's a cushy lead. It's not like anyone's going to take an advantage of anything. I mean, look at Na'Vi as well. Commonly have lackluster CT sides, and yet still one of the best teams on it because their T side's so good. So it's going to be a game that, until the end, it's not like we can read anyone's progress in it.
Well, VP do kick things off in emphatic fashion, not messing around whatsoever. Only one frag found. Smith did get a couple, but there's going to be the 4 spy coming in from G2. They've gone for the MP9s. CZ's MP9's been a heavily used weapon. I'd love to see the stats of this event and see how many kills were obtained by it. Let's see, we go round number 2. 3 AKs for VP, 2 SMGs themselves will be heavily favouring towards the mid area as well. It's going to be one player over towards B, that'll be Pasha, just trying to make a little bit of a distraction here. The boost for Smiths, they're going to have to drop down for now, but VP have been detected.
Drops off that wall, has to run out to ward long because he can't get back through the stables. He's got RPK there to support this, but this is actually all a ruse. This is all a fake trying to force a rotation. Neo's going to sit by and at least take down Smiths, but this should indicate that they are falling away from this. Oddly enough, Scream and Existence are trying to push up rather than rotate back over, so it's going to be Shocks alone on the B site. Pasha's already down the drop. Taz with bomb and Snacks, Bialy, and now Neo joining in are all heading out long, but Shocks finds the first kill. It's the MP9 that's looking to shut things down. Shocks gets Bialy and suddenly Scream. He's giving them a real chance in this. Taz gets bombed down, but they still have to find footing in this, and Neo luckily hasn't dropped away from this platform. He can play the long angle with the AWTB, but he needs to bail out Snacks. He needs to give him support, but he might just do it himself. A good double dink onto 2 players behind the rock. Taz falls, and they're actually going to get this round.
Okay then, so that MP9 doing some serious work. It's Shoxer finds 2 to start the deficit for VP, and then they're just forced to get the bomb down that situation. It was a 4-on-2. They managed to find 1 frag, but what a round from G2 there, coming to life, picking up AK-47s as well. And a round it looked like they were completely out of after VP found the first kill towards the danger zone. They go out towards B, and the Shocks shuts them down. He's had a great series so far, and he continues his form on the second map here. So after losing the pistol, G2 bouncing back. And VP have the option to force into this with the Tech 9s, but I would say going with the AKs next round, considering they got the bomb down the last, would be the better option here. Looking like we'll be going for a more modest buy. Taz with the Desert Eagle, some PT50s coming out, but not a single bit of utility purchase. So this is a great opportunity for GT to use those MP9s and farm a little of extra money here as VP do start to make their way towards B. I was about to say that Snacks will be taking the bomb towards the A side of the map. Just waiting for any aggression coming out from the CTs to begin with.
And there you see it in the graphic. Series tied 1-1 nationwide on the line. Pasha behind the smoke, going to get flashed in. Or they're flashed against, excuse me. It looked like they were trying to flash in Shocks. Not going to go on that. Pasha's going to wait in the corner. This Molotov's going to force him out, and it's perfectly timed with the smoke to dissolve so that he would have been in the open. He would have been caught in transition. Scream goes back in for the face. Needs to be a little bit careful because there are 2 against him. Does find the further away player. Taz gets a good damage. Okay, on to Pasha. Follows it up. So smooth and stylish, is he not?
Absolutely, I agree. 5-on-3 now, and terrorists don't really have much to work with. PT50s in the Deagle, smoked out and lost 2 frags already. Smiths takes down Neo as well. And they've got full control of every situation presented towards him so far. Only Scream taking a little bit of damage, but he's already found 2 kills, so he's absolutely fine with that. Bialy has got towards the drop-down zone. And Snacks making his way towards middle as well. Bialy drops, and this should be the final frag coming in for Smiths as well. So very clean so far. Clinical stuff from G2, keeping all 5 players alive. And we go into round number 4, and as I said, in the previous round, that eco means they could get the AKs in round number 4 here. So AK-47s, Bialy will be joining them momentarily as well, I'm sure, yet to buy. And G2, this is the bonus play we're talking about, keeping those SMGs in play. But there's plenty of opportunities for close-range combat on Cobble. Obviously, you have towards long A, there's a lot of stacks towards there, drop down especially as well. We'll see how they decide to operate with these lesser weapons.
Lesser weapons, but lesser smokes on Virtus.Pro's side, which could be an issue. They're going to let Pasha work on his own over toward B. There are 4 players there from G2 early, and again, that has to do with the timings of spawns on this map. If you get a good enough spawn, you can actually beat the counter-terrorists to the drop room for sure, but not only that, the connection point at long on B, so you kind of have to give it some early attention. They've rotated off of it afterwards. Smith that's inside of this danger position. He's in no man's land, caught out. So 1 SMG that was saved, already gone down. RPK has to go more passive inside of the site. Decent Molotov. That actually forces Neo out. He's caught on the wrong side of it. Bomb! It's down inside of the site, and now they can rotate. They can secure this. RPK does an excellent job with 2 kills.
Yeah, where's the refrags there? It's going to come down to a 3-on-3. RPK doing some massive work here, but VP coming to life. Take down 2, and now just Shocks left in a very difficult situation. 3-on-1.
And Snacks was an excellent kill because he took down Existence on the rotation before he even arrived. So there was no support for RPK, no chance for the refrag on his death, and that allows the bomb picked up, planted, and the boot firmly on the other foot. Shocks with only the MP9. So like you said, the bonus, the Jaden, it's not going to work out this time, but it does mean they'll buy into the next. And it's kind of a interesting situation with the way the lost round bonus works and the fact that it builds up. Every round you lose, you gain an additional $400 on top, or excuse me, $500 starting at $1,400, go to $1,900, $2,400. Up to a total of 5 rounds. It's kind of a weird thing in CS that the situation is if you can reset them early. Now this one's already a little bit off because of an eco buy, but if you reset them early in the half, you actually can build up a substantial lead in economy on your own, and it's kind of an ideal situation. This, you've already pointed it, Henry. I don't know. You and I don't like this.
Oh, this round, I don't actually mind it this round. It's normally the auto sniper comes out of more of a desperation or a last minute like sort of change of methodology, but the auto sniper this early, I think it's more of a massive surprise factor. I think it's pretty cool that Smith is bringing this so early. He's going to be holding down towards middle. Can be great for when people do smoke attacks here, but let's concentrate on Pasha as he's trying to make his way out towards upper B. The bomb on the other hand though will be making his way towards long A. Flash is coming over, and this is where Smiths may get tested. He has got an auto sniper alone towards the A bomb site, kind of camping up and see if he can get a little bit of intel while the rest of his team are on the B side. Pasha's done enough work for now to keep them at bay.
Smith gets one with it, so he's proved us wrong. See if he can find more of those. Still on the balcony, perfectly timed flash, nearly gets caught out by it. Bialy gets in a position, but Scream, he goes undetected. Now the auto sniper comes back out. It's traded, but it's 2 kills for Smiths. Just going to try and play forward to this door, cut them off before they can re-enter, but that puts a lot of pressure on Taz to hold from the balcony. Existence spots Pasha walking across, and it's all Taz coming from all angles. 4 against him. Finds the first. That's an isolated man in RPK. Actually gives him a chance to re-peek again. Solo on Existence, but it doesn't work out.
Yeah, the auto sniper coming out trumps there. I would have preferred more of an execution from VP at that stance, but the fact they've got to all the way towards the end of long A and middle presence as well, they could have done more of the smoke grenades and taken Smith out of the game, but he steps up massively and gets those 2 kills. The auto sniper is recovered, and Shocks has the AWP as well, so their money's going to be great. That was a big round for them. Had they lost, it could have been a double eco, but they win the round. Bomb does get planted for VP, the extra $800 coming into their bank accounts. And looking at the money, they could force this if they really wanted to. I'd prefer if they didn't. Just get the upgraded pistols and have a nice healthy buy going into the 7th. So this should be more of a throwaway round. You can see they have 3 smokes here. This basically means they can go towards B. They could do the wall of smokes under the bomb zone, try and get a plant down. Or they could go towards long A and do what I just suggested before. But it's looking like the former going towards the B site. Smokes all over the site. Try and plant in any sort of situation. But Scream's getting boosted up on the tree. This means he can look over the bomb site and presumably lock them down. This is a perfect counter for what they have in mind.
And this is exactly the situation I was talking about. Again, it's looks different on the scoreboard because Virtus.Pro won the pistol, but it's the 3-1 reset. Gives G2 a really good chance. Drop down, Existence, late to get back into drop. It actually lets one cross over. He's already gone through the windowsill, and they won't have spotted him. So Bialy taking Existence back on this trade gives really good positioning to Snacks because he's already gotten inside the balcony on the A site. The problem is that the bomb's in the hands of Bialy on the B site.
He's sneaking, though. They don't seem to know where he is. And Shox is rotating towards A as well. They can cause enough
This is
chaos
Snacks,
towards
isn't
A.
it? Oh, Neo got Smiths. The one man who was so far away. Screams is rotated. You're right, though. Bialy, it's worked out. I was going to say if Snacks could have found that kill, he could have come back to support, but Bialy finds the one kill he needs. Bomb goes down. They're only going to realize this late. It's going to be at least 7 seconds before RPK can rotate, and Screams even further away because he went through the B tunnels. So Bialy, despite not having armor, an M4 picked up, has done an excellent job.
Yeah, well, he's got an M4, and now he's sat in the smoke as well. Great position to find one frag and rotate, but Screen coming in for the pincer as well. Bialy needs to find an S kill very quickly. This is his chance, gets the first. Now Screen coming from platform as well, will take him down. A great opportunity from Bialy, but will be Screen to take the final victory there and get the forefront of the board for VP, sorry. But what a round that was. So many smokes and mirrors used to get the bomb down.
Such a good position. I mean, that kill could have swayed it a little bit as well because it would have been a 2-on-1 the other direction if Snacks stayed alive, but such a good position for Bialy to play that off angle on the first man. He just had no idea Scream was coming back around from tunnels.
Yeah, very well coordinated from G2 there, so they continue their rampage here. Still, I was about to say have the auto sniper. It's actually double AWP set up here on Cobble now. Drop the auto sniper and VP without the AWP. 5 AKs for them. A full arsenal of utility though as we into round number 7. And Smith's left alone towards that A side once again, obviously one of the AWPs. And Neo will be hunting out towards mid and seeing what's available. It looks like more of a fast play though from VP. They are going to be sending 3 players towards the upper platform, nading everything they can towards that area. Now going to be falling back and just readjusting themselves, more of a default play incoming perhaps.
Excuse me. I was going to say the seemingly choked a little bit here, Henry. But I was going to say the advantage of having that one-on-one in the last round means the economy has been chiseled away from G2, so they actually could get back into this game quite quickly. Virtus.Pro. Asha, though, was looking passively at Shox that gets aggressive, and Neo finds the kill. Puts pressure on RPK because he's got to throw out the smoke, but they have rotated the third man over early. A's wide open with only Smiths watching, and AWP to do so, though it's still quite strong, and Scream to get Pasha. Bialy gets one in return, but trades favor the CTs. Watch Snacks in all of this. They've gone for the wall of smoke. RPK's worked in its favor, but Snacks is looming. The problem is now they can't find RPK either, and it goes back to a basic setup and the fact that RPK can't backstab him. And they find the entrance. Smiths, he's come over with the AWP as well. Snacks has RPK down. It's all on this AWP. No smokes to cover the cross. Bomb needs to get in position. They're going to throw it down to Snacks. Allow Neo to hold the angle. He's got the higher HP, remember, in all of this.
Yeah, Smith stuck behind the boulder now. Bomb will be planted in the default position. And Smith with the open hand got such a difficult task, but he's found the first kill on the Snacks as well. He's jumping. He didn't realize he was that close. Now it comes down to the one-on-one. Neo, the mind games begins. Will he go for the face here? Of course he will. As soon as the defuse comes in, he faces straight away. Knows he won't have time to scope up in that situation. Very nice play from Neo. And what a round it was from VP as well. Going into that B side, they saw Shock getting boosted up. It was Neo that actually ripped his head off, and then they executed in. Lots of equal trades coming in. And Smiths did what he could with the AWP, found the first frag, and this is the shot from Neo onto the AWP of Shock. See, I don't think he knew what the hell happened to him. And like you said, the economy has been worked down so much, it will be on an eco, even after having a double AWP set up last round. So they will be, potentially, is this a force buy? It actually is, you know, so 3 players have fully forced into this. Smiths and RPK keep about $1,000 in their bank accounts, but CZs, 5.7s, body armor, and some smoke grenades to try and take down VP here.
Fades in. Smith's hit. Down to 77, trying to play an aggressive angle behind the smoke at long A. Catch them off guard. This could work for existence. He spotted the foot. He spotted the gun barrel of Bialy. The boost up actually works at drop. That's an AK picked up as well. So now they've got at least one gun to work with the man advantage. Snack still has bomb over toward the courtyard. Smiths hasn't been spotted out here at long, you know, though. And Neo and Taz are already in toward danger. Neo's the one with the SMG, so he should be the one to check the corners, but I don't even know if they'll consider the fact that Smiths could be behind them. Thankfully they are. Taz has gone back that direction.
Yes, Smiths is about to die. There it is. Execution from Taz straight in the back of the head. And now they have control of the map. They don't need to overcommit to this, but Neo seems to have other ideas. RPK does spot him. Going to be dancing around this fence area. It's going to be Neo. I was about to say to find the kill. He gets down to 9 HP. Taz helps him out. And now just Shock's waiting on the bomb site on his existence, and Scream rotates in from A.
Taz gets existence on the drop in. Snacks, good drive-by shot with the P250. Look at the positioning, though, from Shocks. He's gone undercover a little bit in the back of the site, overlooked entirely, denies the bomb plant, but ample opportunity and time to take down Neo. That had been a little bit later in the round. That could have been interesting, but works out. Virtus.Pro's back into this.
Yeah, that force buy from G2 not really working out too well. They do get a couple of kills, but ultimately VP take it to 4-4. And now the money situation for G2 still pretty dire. They're going to be on to PT50s once again, and a real chance now for VP to take the lead. 5-4 if they take this round. They do have the AWP onto Snacks this time, so I'm sure they'll be aware of the situation. Would have seen that the head armor was purchased for G2 last round, and the money dictates that a fully kit will be more than likely for G2. They'll be stacking 5 players towards the B bomb side this time. The bomb is still towards that area for the Polish squad, but not going to commit into this situation until they can work out what's going on.
With the back and forth affair, the double eco actually kind of gives Virtus.Pro a really good chance to build up into this. Snacks is the one on the op this time. RPK is playing close. Pasha needs to be careful he doesn't get caught with that nade in his hand. He throws the Molotov off in the close corner. That does limit RPK's positioning. Flash in, though. He's caught one. He's going to go for the shot on Pasha. Does manage, though, in the end, Pasha to just barely get the frag back. Puts him down on 3 HP. Watch out toward Chicken Coop in this position as well. Very easy to Molotov that off. But they don't have one left on this T side. Bialy finds Scream regardless.
Yeah, 5 on 3 now.
Yeah.
Smith's Shocks in existence remain. You have got one player coming in the back. It's going to be Shocks. But these frags should be pretty simple for VP to achieve. And there it is. 2 on the bomb site, and now Shocks coming in on the rotation. Look at the HP, though, of VP. Very low indeed. Fashion on 3, Snacks on 4. Could have been a couple of bullets separating those kills and made it very interesting indeed. But VP do survive. 5 plays 4 now. Money coming back into the favor of G2. WP purchase. They have been flirting the idea of double orbs. Hasn't been massively successful. VP have come to life since they've found their own orb. And now it's just going to be Smiths with the solo one. He's been playing the A bomb side by himself and allowing 4 players to go towards B. They haven't mixed it up too much. You can see on the screen now, that's where RPK went for the YOLO play on the upper platform. Did do a lot of damage, but then able to find the kill.
YOLO is just carpe diem for stupid people, Henry.
That's very true.
This time a little more aggressive and fast play over on to A. It's going to be Smith, so good positioning in danger. No refrag. He's got the angle held as well. He's already scoped in. They need to be careful in this situation, but Snacks fools Smiths. He thinks they've all run by, that they've given up on him, and Snacks just waits for the repeat. Look at what it's done. No one out toward long. Bialy walks in. The entrances all work out, and it's Neo and Snacks that will close it.
This is the problem with the one player towards the A bomb side. As soon as VP have worked that out, they're doing the full-on A rush. Smiths manages to get one. I would say as soon as you get that one kill, you know there's a lot of players there. You want to get the hell out of there. And he didn't fall back. He decided to face Snacks with a lovely shot, drive-by with the AWP. And they took over the site there. Smokes go down to the connector and just a complete rampage on the A bomb site. And G2 now, after losing 4 in a row, going to be... Is this another Eco coming in? Shocks is fully invested with an MP9 and armor.
Sure, why not?
So
I don't understand that because everyone else stays at 2 grand.
Well,
he goes to 850.
Like, he'll be a maximum loss bonus next round anyway, so he'll still have enough to buy. Won't be a fantastic buy, be enough for Famous and etc. But Scream coming in with a fantastic deagle shot on the Neo. Snacks takes him down in the end, so it is a 4-on-4, still heavily favouring VP, obviously. But Shocks did do some serious work at the MP9 in previous rounds, you remember, so let's see if he can replicate that form once again.
Smiths. Down he goes, though. Tries to go for a fast peek on the player that was behind the door. He did hear it, but Snacks was holding. Pretty straightforward and slowed down considerably. Shocks hasn't been able to do anything with this SMG. I mean, that's right. You did say it. They have the max loss bonus. If he could find a couple kills with the SMG as well, build up the bank.
Yeah, he needs 1 kill for a decent buy. If he goes down without 1, then it's pretty dire with Famouses and lack of utility, but it's not the end of the world. VP now 6 plays 4, 4-on-3 situation, and they're going to be slowly making their way to the B side. Pasha leading the charge here, and go for this first kill. I would say he'll kill Shocks here. I can't see a world where he won't, as Shocks does get away with the small timings out. I think he has been spotted now. It should be dealt with momentarily. There it is. Pasha does take him down. 4-on-2, bomb side open. RPK behind that boulder, just going to get punished for that position. Now existence with the 5-7, taken down by Taz as well. So there it is. 7 plays 4 now. We'll have a look at the money for Smiths. Sorry, for who was it? It was Shocks, sorry. So he has 4,200 still, so yeah, it's not a huge deal considering the money he has left over. Just have a lack of utility. You see 1 kit purchased for existence and Shocks just as 1 smoke grenade.
Money's massive on the VP side, though. 10K now for Bialy. Lowest player right now is Pasha with 75. I mean, that's still significant, isn't it?
Tons of cash.
I don't want that much money.
One day.
I have to charge what Paula does to get that.
No one can do that. Anyway, boost coming in for RPK towards the top of middle. Let's see, a nice time to bring this in. We have seen some very fast rounds from VP, and G2 have been going for that A setup with just Smiths there, no one else backing him up. So trying to rectify that setup right now. Playing more of a focused approach towards the drop-down area. Existence is firmly looking towards that area. And see Smiths with the AWP towards the middle, just trying to bait in RPK.
Pasha's waiting for anyone to push as well. The Molotov buys a bit more time, but they are baiting out the initial utility. Smoke's going to go. There's still 4 of them up, though, on G2 side. And they have a minute to use those in. So they're playing it all right. They're actually buying a lot of time right now on this CT side. Neo is the only one playing over toward A. He's going to try and lurk, find someone unaware. They've gone away from that one player on A as well after that round where they lost. Smith's RPK's back over there. Smith's has gone more passive. It Scream's rotating really early on this, so this is all right because they haven't seen anything over toward B. Virtus.Pro can take advantage of this situation. Shox has gone passive as well on the long entry, so Pasha's going to have free reign when he walks in. He's gotten back in behind the statue, but now they go in the AWP as well. Neo's got one on RPK. Here's the rotation. This is perfect.
It's where it gets confusing for the CTs. Neo's managed to take down RPK. That was the boost player as well. Scream's rotated back, but the thing is VP are on the upper platform with the bomb as well. Smoke's come in now. Shox needs to step up massively here. He's in position, gets the first one. Can he make it 2? The bomb planted in the smoke now, but Taz thinks better of it, but Smack's taking down Shox now. Does give him a firm advantage.
Smiths tries to fire into the smoke. Wants to desperately hit someone on the other side. It does give room for Existence to move up through the alleyway, but that doesn't work out. It's Smith, though, again, up close, nearly tries to get the second shot into Taz. There was not time to get that gun primed and ready once more. Scream, though, there it is. You know him for his one taps. It's down to Snacks, 10 HP. Smith, or, excuse me, Scream knows he's there, but the AWP.
Wow, Snacks there, low HP, just had to go for the face. I thought he'd be hiding behind the box and just trying to ride the clock down, but he had better ideas. Wanted to take the fight towards Scream. Like you said, a lovely shot from him to make that 2-on-1 a more feasible situation for himself, but ultimately VPR taking the round there. That all came down to Neo, you know. Going towards that long area, he knows he can get down towards the end. Finds the first frag, gets the CTs doubting themselves in their setup. Scream on the rotate there, but VP with a lovely execution of the B side. We can have a look now at GT's money. Currently set around the 3,700 mark average.
This is a tough call. They're on 4 rounds CT side. That's not ideal.
Definitely not ideal.
And they're in a tight position in terms of a force buy. It seems odd to call a timeout with only 2 rounds left in the half. You know, you think you get it over with, you can instantly get to the halftime, use that extra additional 2 minutes, but they're desperate for rounds right now. This is a big deficit to have early on in the game. Remember how they started for them as well, an eco and then a reset. You'd think that they would have had a dream situation.
Looking at their money right now, I'm trying to work out what's going to be the best protocol for them. So, $3,600. The force buy so far haven't been fantastic for them. We did see that MP9 doing some serious work in round number 2, but since then it hasn't been too effective. Like, they've been struggling unless they have those AWPs and the auto snipers, which we saw early on. But I would say take the eco this time. Allow yourself to go back to potentially that double orb setup, kind of change things up a little bit. If they force bought this one, they would have SMGs and FAMASs, and I feel like VP would just have an absolute field day with them, and that would be the rest of the rounds going in the Polish side's favour. So I'd say take the eco here, maybe just a partial buy, go for a stack, maybe some HEs, and look towards the future. That would be my guess. That's what's being discussed in the timeout right now. What would you do, Matt?
I mean,
you'd force buy. I know you would. Come on. Admit it. No?
You know I hate force buys. In this situation, the problem is the money's so big for Virtus.Pro. It's not like you're going to get a huge advantage out of this. And if you force buy and lose, like so for example, if you force buy in this and you can make them rebuy without very much money.
Oh, they are force buying. Okay.
Give it. I mean, Envious, G2, French, force buy. It all goes together.
It all works.
Point I was going to make though is if you could knock a few guns out of the terrorist side, even if you win the round and lose a lot of guns, you're still forcing them into a tight position economically.
Yeah.
Here with this force buy, if they lose anyone, they're going to be struggling to buy in the next round. And Virtus.Pro has so much money, it doesn't matter. So I might have liked to see the save there and then get potentially 2 rounds out of it with a more stabilized economy.
I would agree, but this, like you said, they only have 4 rounds so far. They need to start getting more on the board. So there's 2 arguments both sides for that.
Yeah.
It's a high-risk maneuver, this one. You can see Smith has the MP7. They don't have a single kit here. They do have 4 smokes, but RPK have had a single bit of utility. He needs to be going heavy on the frags. And it's a different setup, though. I like this, a different approach. Sending 3 players towards A this time and leaving 2 towards B. That'll be Shox and Existence holding that area. They'll be in a lot of trouble if the execution does come in towards that side of the map. But you'd assume the little fragging unit towards Danger and Long A will have to do some work here and at least just find one player before the execution comes in for VP.
Definitely slowed the pace up a little bit. Virtus.Pro, this is often one of the things you'll see when a timeout's called by the other team. It also gives you a chance to discuss what's going to go on, maybe try and read what they're going to change, and then adapt to it. So right now they're not letting any aggression come through from G2, just holding angles.
VP are just dissecting the map right now. You can see Bialy's trying to feel out drop-down room and see if there's any presence there whatsoever. Once he establishes there isn't, they probably will get someone like Snacks into that area and just leave him there before anything else happens. But Shox and Existence trying to do what they can now. Shox boosted up on towards the upper platform, hoping to get baited in. That's the drop-down control coming in. This is very deadly for VP. Once they have this, they know they can do some serious work with it. Bialy great at getting these entry frags, and here comes the first exchange. Pasha doing a lot of damage onto Shox now. This is where it becomes a problem. Bialy coming in as well. Shox on low HP. The round's about to fall apart, but he does find one. Can he get two? He can't. Pasha takes him down.
Kill from Pasha to get because it allows him back into the site. Neo's late, but he does get Scream, who found two immediately before, and crucially so, to get that refrag. Because that allows the bomb to go down. Smiths is in good position right here. Good read from Taz. Throws the flash out, but he's caught with a nade. He has to hit the shot, Smiths. He's a little bit late doing it with the MP7, and that allows the Molotov to be thrown, buying more time for Neo, who has an AK directly on the site. No kit as well for Smiths. MP7 from this range dropping in. Surely going to switch weapons. No, he's going to stick with this. He wants the movement. He wants to try and run. He wants to try and force the fight with Neo, who's not going to peek. Buy more time. Smith is working around, though.
Oh.
Nearly gets in an angle where that MP7's favorable.
Smith's doing what he can, and like you said, I'd probably prefer to have upgraded the weapon, but you have to consider not a single kit was purchased with the CTs there. He just wanted to run at his target, and hopefully he could just find him down and get the full spray, but wasn't meant to be, and this is the nightmare situation now for G2. They have got maximum loss bonus, of course, after losing, I think it's 7 in a row now. So, Famis's once again have got M4s. Still very difficult scenes for them as we're going to round number 14. The current scoreline is now 9 plays 4. And Snack still the AWP. I think it's that fast A round coming in as Taz is going straight to those mid doors, spraying through, seeing if they can find any damage here. Scream can hear them from danger, and he will be faced any second now. Same setup as last round.
Very different from that of Virtus.Pro, though. A little bit more attention on that A side. The alley's going to go. Taz as well. They're through this doorway. The Scream's going to fall. Now, it's Scream that fell. They know he's not the traditional player on this site. I don't think they'll be sucked into the fact that it's only going to be one on the A site, and Smith gets a refrag. So this should slow it down. VP's not going to fall victim to this.
Yeah, this is a chance for VP now just to really put the brakes on. You can see not a single bit of utility now for G2. Just the rifle is going to take pure fragging here to get them back into this round. VP still have 2 smokes, Molotovs as well. They could go into a little execution here, get control of the drop-down zone once again. It's looking like they will be doing that as Pasha does get upper platform control, and Shox is the only player towards B as well. Snack's doing a great job of just gaining enough attention towards the A side of the map.
Existence and Smiths can't leave. They definitely can't leave now because RPK gone. Smith's going to go to cannons. Existence is waiting for the call from Shox, and he'll now get it. Smiths has to rotate over. Snacks is holding the angle from the bottom of mid as well. This gets even more awkward.
Smiths can't even rotate to the other side.
Try and save, which actually means that, yeah, that. Okay, well, not that, but almost that.
Almost would have been good. But it was a lovely play from them. You can see that it's toying with GT right now. They know exactly what's going on. GT with no utility whatsoever. They can't control any sort of situation, just hoping someone runs into their crosshair. But Snack's doing fantastic work, distracting towards danger and middle, finding kills left, right, and center. That's going to be his second of the round, and Existence left with an M4 towards long A. And you can see how much money VP have. It's definitely worthwhile them going to find him. This is round number 14. They want to make sure G2 have nothing to work with going into the last. Double figures once again for VP. Existence finds one, but should be dealt with here. He might be able to survive. He actually picks up the orb as well. That's actually pretty good. All things considered, if he can save that weapon, at least boost the economy somewhat of G2. So round number 15, they have the orb. You presume they'll give that over to Smiths. And he needs to step up this round. They boost him up towards the upper platform. We go straight up towards middle. I'd prefer him to go towards mid, just go for that straight up intel and see if he can find the first pick and fall back. That's pretty much all they can hope for here. Once again, everything's lacking. Famis's 1 kit. Don't have all the utility in the world. Let's see what they can do with this one.
Smiths is waiting for the angle with the AWP, but Pasha Apparently we've lost game sounds. I've lost game sounds, hopefully.
I have lost them as well.
Well, that's all right. Just more emphasis on our pretty voices.
No, we're back now.
Either way, yeah, it's going to be Pasha that was looking toward to go to long B. He slowed it. Snacks is going to hold it. So Pasha, this is similar to what you see. We talked about this on Cash yesterday, Henry, with the A main setup where one player looks away. They're intentionally looking backwards to avoid a flash, and the AWP player holds it.
Sure.
Goes for the fast shot with the flash, and then Pasha turns to try and push against anyone that wants to get aggressive. It's not really going to play out, but just goes to show you how much emphasis, little details they put on controlling the map, these very key areas. And Pasha's already made it out underneath the archway from a T side, so this is actually quite good. They won't be able to spot that from drop down room, and Scream's not going to have the information yet from Chicken Coop. He will be able to spot him once that's relayed, but the attention's still on the A site right now. The emphasis from 4 Virtus.Pro players. Pasha's going to try and do exactly what Neo did, what Snacks did last round, and distract. Good Molotov as well. That'll force Scream out. The smoke means that Pasha's got to stay a little bit more wide, but he does get that shot. Meanwhile, though, it's all going the way of G2. On the A side, Existence finds Pasha. That's the lurk player, but that does mean he's rotated. So there is only 2 still on this A side, and Bialy's at Stables. He's not yet spotted, but Smith does come to the awareness that he's there, and Snacks has to rotate back, bomb in hand. And although they've rotated away, there's not enough time for him to beat them. So as soon as Existence is aware of this, he's back on B at the exact same time.
Yeah, he still can do something with this. It's the last round. It's like do or die right now. We'll be going for the first kill, but he should be dealt with momentarily. Now doesn't have time to plant. Gets the first kill. Makes it a little bit interesting, I guess, but it's G2 getting their 5th round there. So just great crossfire. That's what they probably need to be doing earlier stages of the game. It feels like they were relying heavily on the Smith setup towards A so many times, and once that was caught on by VP, they started exploiting it, and then they never really got the money to actually adjust their setup there, G2. But to finally get the 5th round on the board, it's enough to work with. Obviously on the CT side, it's very difficult to get rounds. So not out of the woods just yet, VP. Double figures is great on the T side, but there's no reason why G2 can do it. Straight back to them. Pistol will be very important, of course, for both teams. Have a look at the scorebook. Who's stepping up. Pasha having a quieter game this time, 6 for 11 for him. Scream continuing his form we saw on Inferno as well. Yep. He's got 11 frags, considering the amount of rounds they have. He's been looking pretty strong. There it is.
It would have been nice to see more from Shocks. Pasha's also a little bit quiet in this, but 10 rounds Virtus.Pro T side against a team G2 who's actually quite good at their own CT approach. I mean, yeah, this is hairy. I don't know how to read this. Again, we said this is a map that can go either way. It doesn't really lend itself to being predictable, but right now this is a huge deficit for G2 to pull themselves from. Pistol's mandatory, and the pressure's on. I was wondering if Virtus.Pro, considering the slump they're in, especially with Snacks, right? Like I said, I talked to him between map 1 and map 2, and he said, you know, Inferno's easy. We should take this one quite easily. Yeah. And then they lose that. You have to think the Virtus.Pro start to second-guess themselves. They start to think, man, 2016, like, all the issues we've had, suddenly it's them that's the underdog in this. But obviously they've shown up in this map.
If they get the pistol, I'd say it's almost guaranteed VP, especially if they get the 3-0. But if G2 get that, which in these sort of circumstances, when we say that seems to happen every single time, that's when things start to get interesting. It depends how VP actually handled their money situation. We saw G2 have a difficult time with that around the mid stages of this game. As soon as they lost their AWPs and they were kind of forcing up the MP9s and all that sort of stuff, that's when they started to drop off and VP really started to capitalize. Especially in the rounds, even when they had M4s, they didn't have the utility to control any situations. VP just bled them out completely, and that's how they got into this one so effectively. 10 rounds on the T half. We are going to be getting into the second one now. We'll have a look at the buy coming in for G2. Gonna have 4 sets of armor, Shocks on towards a smoke grenade, and 2 flashbangs. And I'd assume, judging by that, it's going to be something very simple indeed. We've seen a lot of teams rushing straight towards A, maybe splitting from Connector as well, but it's looking like an A attack straight down towards the mid doors. All 5 players sticking together for now. And that's going to be great because it's 4-man stack towards B from VP.
Taz goes for a boost, and then they get the call from Neo. So he's going to be on a fast flank. If Bialy and Snacks and Pasha can get back to the doorway in time to cut them off, the smoke's going to go out. This could actually favor Snacks and Neo's positions, and Neo's going to get Smith's spot. Pasha has gone down. That's the first, and Shocks is aware of this. Shocks catches the rotation from Taz. Good awareness from Shocks. He's now going to go hunting for Neo. Still awkward inside of the site, and the fact that a smoke's out at the top of balcony. Good play from Bialy. He gets 2. Scream falls, bombs down, and Shocks has to clutch this out. You can hear them getting loud about the information, but Snacks has Shocks.
That was so nicely played from VP. It looked like the perfect execution from G2 there. We have got a pause coming in.
And I think the reason we heard so much yelling to relay information is there was a headset that actually broke. Because
I
both
wonder what's going on.
yeah, I was going to say that was a lot louder than we heard. Pasha and Bialy instantly took their headsets off, and the admins are over behind VP. So I'm thinking that a headset broke, and they were trying to yell so that Bialy could hear.
It got
because
really
it's illegal.
intense.
The problem is it's illegal to take off the headset during a live round because we don't have house speakers in here per se, so they can't hear us. But we are close enough that there's that potential. So you have to leave headsets on. So that's why they were trying to relay the information. They're actually laughing about it right now.
Yeah, well, they still recovered the round. Bialy with those 2 really crisp headshots there. But like as I was saying before, you noticed that.
Actually, it's TeamSpeak in general that crashed because they're looking to try and fix it right now.
Okay, cool. Well, anyway, G2 went for the full 5-man A rush there. Obviously, we see a lot of teams stacked towards B, so it's almost a perfect call from G2. They've read it very well. But Neo staying alive for so long, finds the first kill as they're making their way to the bomb site as well, just doing enough while the rotations come in. And Bialy comes to the connector doors, gets the lovely headshots there. And did they even get a plan there? I don't think they did. Actually, straight up kills from VP, so this is a fantastic situation for them. G2 up against the ropes now. Need to work out how they're going to approach the next round. I'd say it's almost certain they'll be force buying with Tech 9s and a couple of smokes, considering RPK and Shock score kills.
Just go back about experience and what we said about age and wisdom on this team, Virtus.Pro. A lot of other teams, when TeamSpeak dies, they find ways to, like, maybe they'll try the in-game or they'll try typing, but they'll just, TeamSpeak died, TeamSpeak died. These guys just instantly started yelling at each other as loud as possible.
I would say that's a very good point. If you have the backup of in-game comms, then you've always got that to fall back to, right? If you have that bound to another key. But yeah, or you can start screaming with soundproof headsets and see what happens.
I mean, they all instantly started laughing when the round ended because they were like, oh my God. Yeah. Especially with Shocks was flanking them again. Like, that could have been really awkward if they don't make that information call correctly. But they do have headsets off. We can't analyze the buy per se. But
I kind of
excellent.
But
I don't think they heard you. It's fine.
Yeah, that's fine. It's all going to be good. But that's the round we said G2 massively needed. It's going to be 11-5 now. And like I said, they're probably going to force by going to it. We can't see what they've done just yet. But looking like VP actually got the headsets off still. So
actually, both teams do now, taking a bit of a breather on the G2 side.
What is up here? Watching down.
Actually, I'm wondering.
Go on.
I can see the 6th computer behind the teams.
Okay.
Which is where the TeamSpeak server is located.
Mm-hmm. Go on. Sounds like a good story so far.
And I can't see any names on the left column, which means I think
you've got good eyesight. If you can see that.
I can actually. I think that the TeamSpeak crashed for both. I think the TeamSpeak altogether died.
Okay, so this could be a longer break than anticipated.
So there you go. VP starts yelling.
As well.
And,
okay. Toilet break for everyone.
Why not? I mean, that is definitely an issue that they got to try and resolve. But even better still, for the sake of fairness, that means both teams had the same problem in the situation. So it's not like it's an excuse one to the other.
That's why there's a lot of shouting in the room, I guess. It does, I couldn't work out what language it was. Obviously, you've got soundproof headsets as well, but I can just hear it coming through your microphone. So there's a lot of shouting going on.
My mic, it could have been coming through your own. You know?
Just microphones in general. You know what I mean.
Right, cool. Just blame me. It's fine.
Anyway.
Don't worry about it.
So, Map, just as it was getting exciting, a really interesting pistol round with VP stepping out massively. I'm going to predict G2 will be force buying this round, but if they do lose that round and they have to do another full eco, that could potentially mean 13-5 in the opening stages of this one. And the closing stages of this series, I have to say, this is it. Whoever wins the second half.
Let's start traumatizing this a little bit. Existence again.
Mm-hmm. What do you want to say?
How many times? I mean,
you mean in the whole
can't get out.
The whole thing, right?
Virtus.Pro slump, get bodied by them in the first game, turn it around, kill Cloud9 in theirs, and you think, all right, they're back.
They look so strong in that game.
Absolutely.
So confident as well.
And you'd think, like, all right, this is it, right? Like, this. They had a bad game. It was the anomaly. They were slow. They had a bad start to the tournament. You know, whatever excuse they want to give. Then they get that game, and you're like, this is going to be a good series. And it has been a good series, but it's Virtus.Pro. Again, that's on top right now. And I mean, this is incredible. The team like this is going to keep their legend status. Of all the teams coming into this, yes, Envious was absolutely in a slump. I would have pegged Virtus.Pro to be the one that would come under the most threat of losing their spot. And the analysts did as well. No one had them predicted to go through this group.
Well, they're very close right now. They've definitely got 1 foot in the Nationwide arena so far. It's going to be 5 more rounds to do it, and potentially 2 more for free at the moment, considering the buys and the options G2 have available. No one for VP sat on their chairs whatsoever. I think we might be filling for a long time.
I do see the TeamSpeak has reconnected on the G2 side, though. I can definitely see there in the server. I see, actually, they just went into the server on the VP side. So both TeamSpeaks are back. We should be getting going anytime. I wasn't sure if I could see correctly, but now that I can see they are back in the server, it's definitely, I can confirm I was speculating originally. I can confirm both teams crashed. Absolutely. So.
Well, thanks for clearing that up.
You're welcome. Absolutely. For everyone at home, Henry, it's not for you.
It should be about me.
Everything's about you, baby.
So we are going to be getting into this one very short. I can see the players moving once again. I'm sure the umpires will be coming in momentarily. We'll see what kind of buy coming in for G2. But definitely up against the ropes now. This means everything. Just to reiterate, whoever loses this game is out of the tournament. And the winner will be going into the quarterfinals tomorrow at the Nationwide Arena. We'll be doing this all again. Right now we're in the studio setting. But things go absolutely hyped tomorrow.
It's going to be
NA
so
soil,
I'm
2 NA
so
teams.
pumped. My parents are showing up, Henry. That's how much hype there is.
Okay. Well, Matthew, while we kind of configure ourselves and work this issue out, it looks like we'll be going to a very quick break.
Teams are sitting back down, so it should be very quick. But this isn't. This is just commercial, pay the bills, and it should be almost ready to go as soon as we get back. So sit tight, everyone.
Także uważam, że dorastanie w małym miasteczku chociaż bywa trudne, bo nie pozwala rozwijać swoich pasji, ale jak widać, jak ktoś bardzo chce, to może osiągnąć swój cel, czego dowodem jest na przykład Jarek.
My city was very small and we don't have nothing to do there, and someday someone is opening the internet cafe. I just say to my friends, let's try the computer games.
Jest zaprzeczeniem takiego klasycznego gracza komputerowego, który tylko siedzi z nosem przy komputerze.
Jarek jest bardzo aktywnym człowiekiem, lubi ćwiczyć i...
If I have to describe Pasha in one word, it would be biceps.
When I wake up, I go straight to the gym, so my mind is fresh, and I can make a better decision in the game, in my life. Each day I don't go to the gym, I feel I am not a Pasha biceps.
Sometimes he just played bad tournaments because there is not good enough gym at the hotel, but when there is, believe me, he's playing awesome. Pasha became most popular Counter-Strike player in the world thanks to his personality, because he's not acting, he's just being himself.
Czas, kiedy Jarek przeszedł na gracza profesjonalnego, z tego bardziej amatorskiego, był dla nas bardzo trudny. Tuż przed ślubem Jarek bardzo zastanawiał się, czy kontynuować grę w Counter-Strike.
So I think it's say, Pasha, you need to make a better future for your family and to join to the normal life.
But then Neo and Taz explained him that the community is going to grow up.
Pozostawiłam tą decyzję jemu. W sumie nawet nie pytał, co sądzę. To miała być jego decyzja, to jak on czuje, czy on chce, czy nie chce.
He decided that he will come back to the team.
The government of my hometown, they asked me about the help to win the playground for the kids.
It was pretty no chance for a small city as Sadokist, so he wrote to his fans, please guys, help me for votes, and they did it. He's just a great guy, but I would say his baby made him an even better person than he was before.
Ważne jest to, że kiedy zaczął się poród, Jarek grał. Siedziałam w drugim pokoju i wołałam: kotku, rodzę, to już! A on podnosił tylko słuchawkę i mówił: jeszcze chwilę, gram. Zakładał słuchawkę.
It was the most nervous, few hours in my life. 100 times more nervous than the most important event in Counter-Strike. So this for me was the real event in hospital. For me the hardest thing is traveling, because I leave my family.
Jest odważny, ponieważ podjął się takiej pracy, która wbrew pozorom jest bardzo trudna.
Nothing can stop me to be the best father in the world and be one of the best players in the world. I always have the fighter heart, but what motivated me the most was my dream to buy a house for my family. I never have my own room. I always the share room with my mom or my grandmother.
A to trochę na złość mnie, bo chciał udowodnić teściowi, że sobie mieszkanie kupi.
Ponieważ jeszcze rok temu nie mieliśmy żadnych perspektyw na to, żeby je mieć.
And I keep going, and the dreams come true.
I think Pasha is a good example for every kid in Poland and in the small cities, because he's showing that it's not important where do you come from, but what kind of dedication you have to the thing you do. He has so much passion, he has a will to win every single tournament he's attending, and it makes him happy, because he loves the game.
I love the crowd when they...
All right, guys, we're jumping straight back into it. I'll explain the logistics of what happened in a moment, but the ruling stands on the court. Let's just put it at that for now. And we don't have much time to discuss it because already they're going to try and go back onto this A site. Good flash from Neo into the smoke. That's going to slow them down. Look how quickly they backed away from that. Good trade from RPK. But Neo gets the initial damage. Taz, excellent shot with the UMP.
There it is. It's going to be a pretty simple round here for VP by the looks of things. Shocks and Smiths remain. They're going to be dropped to one player as well as Taz does get Smiths. Shocks at the bomb now, Desert Eagle in hand, but 4-on-1. It was a force spy coming in from G2, but now no more.
So to explain what happened, TeamSpeak did crash for both teams. That was confirmed. Absolutely. The reason it took so long, they fixed the technical difficulty, but G2, and this is just to show you how important that round was, the significance of this game, to make it to the legend status. Let's think about that, not just the quarterfinal in the arena, to make their lives so much easier for the next major. That's how much rides on this. They protested the round simply because if a kill comes in, you normally can't replay a round. That's it. But their protest was simply that if there was damage dealt, or sorry, if TeamSpeak crashed before damage was dealt, then technically speaking the round was void. So what they did is had to go back and watch the demos, time it, line it up with the TeamSpeak, see when it crashed. As it sits, the damage was done beforehand, and therefore the round stands. It's fair for both teams. So that's what took so long.
It has to be investigated properly as well. So it took a lot of time, but there's so much on the line, as you mentioned. We need to make sure everything's accounted for. Although it kind of delayed us a little bit more, this is for the greater good, and we've come to a compromise. The round does stand, and now it's going to be VP 2-0 up, and a full Eco coming in from G2 now. So it's looking like it will be 13 plays, 5 after this round. Just one PT50 purchase. That will be on Shocks, and a lot of damage inflicted as well.
You made a good point as well. The admins did do everything correct. There was no shortcuts taken. They got together. They all had a meeting.
It's worth it.
They all looked at the material, the footage, everything available to them, and made that decision. So, I mean, no one's taking anything for granted in this major.
It's not ideal, but it feels like the best compromise has come into it. That's there it is.
Neo's going to watch out toward long, so still this pressure coming from G2 in that position. Taz is going to find that first kill again with the UMP, so he's built up a significant bank in these first 3 rounds of the second half. Pasha's going to come in, scream with 1. It's just him against 4. Down he goes. 13 rounds. Virtus.Pro 3 away from moving on once more into that legendary status. Only once they didn't achieve, and that was at the very first major.
So we did see Smiths not fully investing into that second round force spy, so he does get the AWP this round. Same story for Neo as well. He's got the AWP, and it's no SMGs, no bonus strategies coming in from VP this round. Full rifles for both teams. There's only 3 smokes at the terrorists here, so not a full arsenal of grenades, but let's see what they bring to the table here. Neo, known to go for aggressive peeks towards the bottom of the middle. We'll see what he can bring to the table this time. We'll be doing just that by the looks of things. Likes to use that smoke towards the doors and go for a threat out base. Does spot one. RPK gets dropped in the first spotting of the terrorists there. 5-on-4 straight away, and he has time to fall back as well.
Good play to start off from Neo. Look at the aggression he still wants to show, though, toward Danger. Needs to be careful of the fact that there's two CT players, or excuse me, T players out toward long. He gets caught. The jump fires, misses, and Smiths is there.
Didn't have to commit to that. After finding that first frag, like I said, plenty of time to fall back, gets himself in position, doesn't have a teammate to get the refrag, and Smiths capitalizes. Now it's a 4-on-4, and this normally does favor the terrorists. We'll see what they can do with this position. Got control of long A, and we've only got Taz holding him off for now. He can hear footsteps, and he needs to try and work out what's going to be the best place to hold at this point.
Going for the boost here as well at drop. So they can get an earlier read over toward B. This can start to lend itself to the early rotation. Viali going to go back over toward the A site. Again, though, you're right, Neo, just how much he gave away by bringing this back to 4-on-4, because now it still favors the offense. Good kill by Snacks, though, to take down Shocks, excuse me.
Shax works.
Snacks and Shacks. Shacks in esports now. The stake in energy. It's all coming full circle, but they are still approaching. Good shot by Taz early and falls away. There's no chance for a refrag.
Yeah, 4-on-2 now, Smiths and Screamer main, but Taz gets another one as well. That's the bomb dropped. Smiths just at AWP towards Stables, and he can't really do much of this. A really stellar round from Taz, and he finishes it off as well. Why not? 3 kills for him. It was Nia that opened things up, but Smiths did find him and get the return kill, but just wasn't enough there. They executed towards A. Taz getting the rotation in, and really crisp shots from him from the A bomb site. It's going to be dropping G2's money down as well. It's 14 plays 5, Matt. That was a round G2 needed, and now they've got no choice but to force into this. Tech9's head armor. 1 more for VP to get series points and nationwide points. Winner of this game does go through and find legendary status.
Yeah.
And considering the slum VP have been in, what a romantic storyline that'll be to make it there. G2 now, all to play for all 5 players, committing towards the B side of the map. They have got smoke grenades, flashbangs, Tech9's head armor. You'd assume a wall of smokes, and then it's trying to swarm the bomb site. Here comes the play.
BK wants to try and go through that, but a well-timed flash catches Pasha as well, but does slow them down, and Pasha's got his vision back in time. He turns around, it's 2 to drop. He gets the assist with the flames into Bialy's kill on Smiths, and Taz finds Shocks at Scream with 10 HP. It's map, it's series, it's nationwide point for Virtus.Pro.
10 in a row now required for G2. The money won't be fantastic. It's going to be a similar situation. Of course, they have to buy, so can't get AKs, but it's just going to be AKs and armor. That's about it. 2 smokes, 3 flashbangs, a HG, and a lot of work to do. Neo with the AWP, he knows he's not going to have opposition in that respect, so he can go for that initial phase at the start of the round once more. This is looking like it's going in one direction. G2 going to be so gutted with this after coming back so strongly on Inferno. It's Cobble that's slipped away from them quite tremendously as well. Switching it up as well. This is time 2 players towards A. Neo going aggressive towards that long area. And 5 players once again committed towards B. Going to be Molotov'd out for now. It's looking like they'll do a similar sort of play. 2 smokes will go over, flashbang, and they need to rely on the frags.
Pasha's in the same position, 1 this time and done. Smiths gets the refrag. The alley finds that, but it's traded as well, and it's all on Taz. Quick rotation from Snacks. He still has control of drop. And Shox again is going to go back to watch the flank. He's read this well. He did it on the pistol, keep in mind. Even though they didn't pick up the round, but Scream getting Snacks and Shox now joining in. Should be able to get a bomb down quickly. Question is, Neo's bought so much time in this that it might work out, but Taz gone. Smiths with the kill. G2 gonna live to fight one more round potentially in this, unless Neo's got something up his sleeve. Finds the first on to Shox, gives away his position. Still no bomb plant out of this, but it's coming right now.
2-1-1 now. He does have a kit. 2 players to find with the bomb as well. Even he can find 1 kill and save, that's enough. It does enough damage to the economy, but he could actually do more of this. They don't have any idea. He didn't spot the barrel though behind that tree, and it's going to be Smith.
No, I think he did.
Okay. I thought he would go for the wallbang in that situation. We did spot the barrel, take his head off through the tree, but
I guess they considered drop at that point, because obviously they knew he was that long when they took
of course,
the first shot.
I was wondering whether Neo actually spotted the barrel. It's so out in the open at that point, but
I would have thought for sure one would have been watching either direction. Anyway, it works out nonetheless for G2. Like you say, another kill in that situation would have done significant damage to the economy, but G2 don't care about money. They care about rounds. They care about winning any way they can.
well, still plenty of cash here available for VP. Double orbs this time. Pasha normally playing towards that chicken coop area. Looks like a very fast strategy coming in from G2 now. All 5 players going towards mid. We saw this on the pistol. And it's going to be flashbangs coming through. Are they able to find this first frag? Neo completely flashed up. They do get it. Now it's a 5-on-4. They're going to continue with the pace and make their way towards the A side.
There's one player that's got back over in time. It's Taz who will be toward the platform. Existence is going to find Snacks, though. An awkward exchange in the smoke with a flash on top of it. Bialy gets Existence inside of it, though, and Taz is found. Taz is found at the back of the site. This opens up
Just need to
so
save
much for G2.
Just need to save. They've got plenty of a huge bed of rounds here. It's not worth trying to go for this. They definitely can't win it. So go save the weapons. See if any terrorists come on the hunt for the exit frags. But it's a very quick one from G2, mixing up the pace. They've been focusing on the B side quite heavily since the guns have come into play. This time, that's exactly what they did on the pistol round, ironically. So running straight down that mid ramp. Neo, like we said before, likes to go aggressive, likes to go for that early information. Gets early flash in the face. Taken down, and then they swarm the bomb side. We saw Taz stepping up massively on that A side before, unable to take a single player down with him this time. And it's a very typical single round, only Existence being dropped, and this is the exit kills I was talking about. Pasha does get one, he kills Shox. Smiths does find Pasha in the end, just Bialy remains now. So, Matt, what a story it would be if G2 could do this.
Don't jinx it.
No,
I mean, this would be incredible.
I like it. It builds the hype. They can do this.
It would be one of the greatest stories
Ever told.
in all of CSGO, for sure. I mean, in the situation that rides on this, I mean, this is huge. This is a massive game. And it's maximum pressure on G2. Buy every round. Do everything you can. You can't afford one mistake.
Well then, there is still cash available for VP. This will be the round of the breaks, and no, they got 4 M4s. Pasha with the AWP once more. Now it's just a straight up B rush, but it seems all 5 players going to be running through this smoke quick. A couple of execution smokes chucked in as well. Flashbangs come over. Who's going to get the first frag?
It's going to be Pasha again, who's out toward long with this time. It's traded. Good distraction play, though. Snacks is back into it. Bialy has Existence, and now it's looking good for Virtus.Pro. It could be this. Right here is Pasha, or excuse me, Bialy, rather. He's going to put Smiths down. It's all on Scream, and it is all done. Virtus.Pro, you can call what you want of their slump in 2016. They remain legends. And they'll move on tomorrow to play Luminosity. And just to quickly put a note on that, in all of Luminosity's success, they have not played Virtus.Pro. And that's part and due to the slump, but now you're at a major, and that's when Virtus.Pro gets scary. That is, you think this is the easiest bracket for Lumi yet? Well, this isn't done at all. That's going to be an incredible game.
It was a strong series. We saw all 3 maps there. G2 looking incredibly strong on Inferno. You can see the looks on their face, how much it meant to them. They won't be making it to the Nationwide Arena. VP will do, and maintaining their legendary status. We did have a little bit of controversy in the second half there. We can see everyone still shaking hands. There's no bad blood here. Fantastic game, but G2 not really delivering on Cobble. 10-5 in the first half, and that pistol was the separator. As soon as VP got that, that's when 13-5 came in, and VP took control. G2 did have an answer for a couple of rounds. They mixed things up. The fast plays coming in, but just wasn't enough to hold on.
Other side of the story, no French teams will advance to the playoffs. The defending champions were envious. The French, they're not there. G2 can't raise the banner for them, and you can see Shox down there right now looking pretty stressed out. Again, existence. Yet another major, he won't move on, and it starts to really grind away at them. It gets under your skin at this point in time, and we, yes, okay, we'll know there will more majors this year. We don't yet know when the next one's going to be, how long it's going to be, how busy their schedule is going to be. Obviously,
they have to qualify now.
That too. They've got to qualify in the midst of a schedule that we already know is packed. I mean, this is it's
So
a lot of stress to put on a team.
The current champions having to qualify, G2 having to qualify. These are top 10
FaZe.
teams. FaZe. That's kind of nuts.
I mean, not to mention, you consider the teams that aren't here that didn't qualify. Dignitas, SK. You know, there's lots of teams that very easily could have been in this situation. The Asian scene's growing. To get into a major now, the legendary status is worth its weight in gold. I mean, it's such an easy time. And everything is going to get so much harder to qualify in the future. But that said, Puckett is standing by to close out the day. He's got an interview standing by with, I didn't hear who because I was busy talking. But I think it's, okay, there you go. It's Taz.
I heard.
Thanks,
I was
man.
listening.
You got me.
Puckett, take it away.
Counter-Strike players of all time, and Taz coming into the tournament, there was a lot of doubts. A lot of people thinking Virtus.Pro is in a slump. Maybe this is the time they won't make it out of groups. How do you feel knowing that you are going to be playing in front of thousands of people on Saturday for your quarterfinal match?
I feel bad for G2. I feel like they deserve to be in the quarterfinals. They are the team which deserve to go forward. Unfortunately, it was 3 very good teams in the same group. And unfortunately, we had the situation in which there was no good solution.
You guys did play them in 4 maps. You won 3 of them. You're moving on now. How is the team at this moment in the tournament?
We feel better. We managed to play better Cobblestone. We were extremely nervous. I don't know why my boys were extremely nervous as T-side on Cobblestone. We made a lot of mistakes. We lost eco. They capitalized on it, but yeah, as CT, the pistol occurred. I don't know if you want me to talk about it, but what actually happened is that TeamSpeak died for both teams. And I acknowledged it pretty fast, and I started screaming to my team with information. Like, I started to scream what I would say on TeamSpeak. Nobody wrote anything. No, the game was on. They had the A site under control, and it felt like, okay, game is on. I just wished TeamSpeak didn't die, and it would be more cleaner game then. But still, respect to G2, and I'm just happy that we are through.
A very humble guy, a great competitor with a lot of respect for all of your opponents. We've always seen that throughout your career. Taz, you're going back to the quarterfinals, and we now know you'll be playing against Luminosity. You have a full day to prep because you will be the 4th quarterfinal match. We're only doing 3 tomorrow. What will you be doing in your day off to prepare?
I guess we will just chill. It was extremely nervous day today for us. We'll just chill, get prepared for Luminosity. It's been a long time since we played the Brazilians, so I hope for a nice game from our side, and that maybe finally we'll prove some casters. I mean, we actually proved them already wrong. Like, nobody chose us to go through the group stage, so kudos to analysts. They know their shit.
And I'm sad that I sent home all the analysts early. I sent them back to the hotel so they could get some rest. We will be live in less than 10 hours with the pregame show tomorrow, but I'm sure you will have some nice things to say to Thorne and Richard Lewis and all of the guys.
Why? I mean, they just picked their picks, but yeah, I don't know why they did it, but it seems like our slump is more important than our class, you know. You can play bad, but if the team has class like my boys, we will come back stronger at some point. If this is this event, I will be really happy, but if not, trust me, we are coming.
One of the classiest men in gaming. Taz, thank you so much. Enjoy your time off, and best of luck in the quarterfinals. Guys, as I mentioned, we now know our final 8 teams. Let's give you the rundown. In the bracket for the playoffs, you'll be seeing Natus Vincere, NIP, Astralis, Fnatic, Team Liquid, Counterlogic Gaming, Luminosity, and Virtus.Pro. We want to thank everyone who's tuned in all day long. Group stages are over, serious money on the line, and it's all going down in front of the biggest audience we have seen for Counter-Strike here in the U.S. I'm Chris Puckett. Thank you so much for tuning in tonight, and we'll see you tomorrow morning, 9:30 a.m. Eastern Time, right here on twitch.tv/MLG.